1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode. We have another special guest joining us on the channel to help build the list. Give a very warm welcome to Social General Rob from the Downsizeit Battle Report channel. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. So we got to start with the standard question, Rob.
Sure.
What is your favorite faction among the Star Wars Armada groups?
Oh, the Rebels. They are quite my favorite, really.
Yeah, it's always like they take a little bit of skill. They're like fencing with a
Oh,
tiger.
yeah, but I think that's why I like them because now I played Imperials a couple times. They synergize really well. The Imperials just really have a really good synergy. You can see it right away. The Rebels, though, they have the ragtag fleet, I like to call it, where you have all kinds of different ships that do different things, and you really sometimes cannot see, well, and not for me anyways, the synergy as easily.
Yeah,
So, and I like that because the underdog, and they're going against this very powerful unit that has really great synergy right away, no problem. So I like that challenge.
yeah. The rebels always take a bit more figuring out, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what we're going to try and do today. So in case you haven't watched it, I would recommend going over to Downsizeit and watching some of the battles, particularly with Social General Rob against Ben. It's a really good channel. So you and Ben are planning something, and that's what we're here to help you today with. So do you want to explain what battle is coming up, Rob?
Well, it was brought up, but the defense of Downsize It channel, and he kind of was kind of a challenge by you, actually, James. And you said, "Yeah, how about we try and go on get against you, Ben? Let's Rob and I build a fleet and let's go against you." And so Ben said, "Yeah, definitely." So for it, Ben and I like to play 600-point games because it feels like a big fleet to us,
Yep.
not just a small little squad or I don't know, skirmish. And we've always enjoyed those games. And so he said, okay, but to defend my channel, I am going to bring Thrawn and I am going to bring 6 defenders. So I'm like, okay. And so I decided I'm not going to bring my usual guys, which is Akbar, Dodana. I thought, no, I'm going to bring someone brand new. And so who better to help me out to do it? James.
Yeah.
So there
So
we go.
I will warn you, we tried this for Ken of Ion Radio, and it didn't end well. He enjoyed the list, but it didn't end well. So there is that buyer beware warning. So
That's all right.
let's pull up uh, the Social General Rob Task Force. I think is the best name for the list. So
I thought of how about the Irish Social General Mad Cat.
grand, we can definitely do that. By the way, I can't spell to save my life, hence the
That's right. I can't
I,
either.
I'll,
Don't
I'll,
worry.
I'll fix it later on. I think I've spelt my own name wrong on one or two occasions, which people have described as an achievement. So myself and Social General Rob, to show you behind the curtain, have been having a chat about what admirals. So we were saying we're going to try Kraken for this.
Yes.
Now Kraken, we had a video with Truth in the Sun where he talked about Kraken, um, uh, but there's one really annoying upgrade which I think you've tried already on your channel, which I was
Well, maybe.
thinking we've got a CR. Let's take a CR90B. So it's already
Yes.
obstructed with Kraken. So what if we add? You've already had a little bit of a success with point defense
Oh,
ion cannons,
love
haven't you?
that. I love it. It's a great card. It's a great defense.
So we're going to combine that with the obstruction from Kraken and
Mm-hmm.
rerolls and the new 1.5 rerolls. So if a large ship does get you at close range,
Right.
you just burn the evade, use this, reroll 3 of their dice.
Right.
So try and keep that
Wonderful.
CR90 alive. Now, because we're
Oh yes.
normally I'd say a CR90A, but because we're messing around with this point defense ion cannons, we can't really get an offensive ion cannon in there. So what I'm
Hmm.
thinking is you're a fan of Dudana, so let's
Oh
add
yes, I am. Yes.
Dudana's Pride.
Oh, and I love that ship too. And I'd love to get in there, get that blue crit, and just get my face up damage card just by canceling all my other damage. I just love that card. It's a wonderful title.
So what this kind of ship, the idea is it can get in behind the lines. It can maybe flak some defenders if necessary.
Hmm.
But its job is to kind of stay alive and harry those flotillas, because the point defense ion cannons should help against stuff like defenders and things like that as well.
Right, right, yeah.
Like if it's on your shields, you can reroll any hitting dice. If it's going to be going through to your hull, you just reroll the crits on those blues to prevent the
Right.
critical damage. Speaking of CR90s, let's go with our standard Jaina's Light, and
Another good card.
we'll
Another
also
good.
use, because it's Imperials. Let's try linked turbolaser turrets
All
rather
right.
than TRCs. TRCs is good, but the bit here is maybe you want to flak, ignoring obstruction with the linked turbo laser
Right.
turrets. Maybe
Right.
there's a defender, just maybe he's got Marek wandering around and he's dropped a little bit. You can roll some damage in, as well as that you're saving your evades. So if you need to have both evades in case there's an accuracy from a Star Destroyer, you haven't used one up on a
Right.
TRC. Or
Yeah.
even if you end up using your TRCs, um, and you burn through your evades, or even if you use your evades to defensively and they're gone, your turbo laser slot is still useful. It's not as powerful as TRCs, but it works on both arcs as well if you double arc.
Right. I mean, I like the card. A lot of people forget is the second half of it,
Yeah.
which is you were talked about against the defenders or something like that, where you get to get two dice of any color. Everybody automatically thinks red, and that actually happened to Ben
Hmm.
when he was playing one of our bat reps. I think two bat reps ago, and he said, "Oh, it's only be two red. It's not going to be enough."
Yeah.
I said, and unfortunately, I am honest, and I had to tell Ben during. I said, Ben, no, it's two any dice color.
Yep.
Wait, what? And then he went, oh, and then of course my ship went down.
So
My
what
little
I always do
poor
is
fighter.
it
But
depends. If it's a scatter ace, I'll add a blue and a red. And if
right,
it's a generic, I'll add a black and a red. And the reason why I
yes.
add in one red is because the LTT will let you re-roll that red as well, which is
Oh, that's a good trick.
ridiculous.
That's nice. Didn't think
So
of that.
so
Nice.
one of the dice be red, unless you've already
Yeah.
got red flak. But it's a decent little ship. It'll be able to snipe out stuff. Um, then we need stuff to kill Star
Right.
Destroyers.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We need like a big gun.
so I would suggest two big guns in our MC30s. So
Oh, I love those ships. Yes.
we're gonna build two exactly the same, except
All
for
right.
some small builds. So we're gonna go ordnance excerpts because they're still necessary. We're
Mm-hmm.
going with the
Right.
torpedo frigate mainly because they've got the blue dice, which is perfect with H9s.
Yep.
And then let's add. Most people are going external racks at the moment because we've got Dudana's
Uh,
Pride already. Let's add APTs.
right.
They're they'll they're not as good as they were, but they're still decent.
Oh no,
So
I think they're great. I mean, I think they're much better than external racks.
yeah,
External racks is one shot. So if you miss or he defends against everything, well, okay, that card's done.
yep,
APTs, you can keep on going.
you can
So
keep
I
on going.
mean, I like it.
I'm suggesting two of these. They're just
Oh,
so
nice.
flexible and tough.
Yes.
And then we'll add Lando to one
Oh, very nice.
and Foresight. So this is the one that's going to be really hard to kill.
Oh, yes.
And admonition to the other one.
Another
So
nice one.
then
Yeah.
they're two very tough ships. So Kraken, they're
Hmm.
even tougher.
Right.
And then like you just keep them at about 3 until you need to jump over a Star Destroyer, then jump them to 4. And the one thing
Right.
to do is make sure you're angling them. So don't send them straight, angle
Oh,
them, and even maybe have one behind the other. So when one jumps away, then the Star Destroyer activates, it moves into the black range.
so don't do like I usually do, which would be take, and it could be two different other ships, but don't flank them from two different sides.
Potentially not. It
Be-
depends what he's got. But
right.
like here, as long as you don't, as long as you kind of delay your activation, it depends
Hmm.
whether you're first or second.
Right.
Um, but generally just try and delay, and then once the big ship has gone, jump into its front arc then. Or jump
What?
in, you can jump into, these two are safe. They can jump into the front arc as long as they don't stay there.
Right. Just
If they're
one, move through. Yeah.
just move through, but go in at an angle and jump past, and then maybe have them set up. It depends how big a target. If it's a bunch of Architans, then don't do that. Just send them hunting
No.
Architans. But if it's
Yeah.
a big Star Destroyer, kind of set up, kind of have maybe one go a little bit faster than the other. So he's kind of got to pick, and he's not putting you in a position where he has both of them, and you've got to
Okay.
decide, okay, do I activate this one and save it, or do I activate this one and
Right.
saving?
Right. Yeah.
Again, it depends, but these are the two to take out. Whatever is his biggest, hardest, most valuable thing, these are the guys to do it.
Well, I'm imagining with Thrawn, he's bringing Chimera.
Yep.
Chimera. I'm sorry,
That
Chimera.
that's what I am thinking as well.
So it's like,
Um, and these two make a beeline for it. You don't, if you can stay out of his front arc and still kind of double arc him, that's great. But don't be afraid. Just make
okay.
sure that whatever angle you approach it, whatever's behind will not stop them jumping over.
Right. Right.
That's the thing. They can take one shot in all likelihood.
That's
Definitely
one.
Foresight can. They can take one frontal barrage as long as they haven't taken a bit of damage before that.
Right.
And as long as they're not taking two. So that's what you've kind of, the order of activation and the timings of when they do their attack run. Because the
Right.
problem is they're very maneuverable, but they're not maneuverable to get a second shot.
No. 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 So when you said to have one go speed for one faster than the other, do you mean one goes speed 4 and the other one goes speed 3, or you just mean activation? One goes first.
I would say kind of both. One might be deployed a little bit further forward, but I
Hmm.
wouldn't. Shockingly, I'm going to say on your first turn, go
Right.
speed 2.
2. Okay. Yeah, that's
Just
shocking.
on your first turn, bank your navs, and we'll come to the reason for that in a
Okay.
minute.
All right. Gotcha.
Because as viewers of this channel know, if you outrun your fighter screen, it's not going to do you too much
No.
good.
No, it doesn't.
Now, the one thing MC80s and MC30s and CR90s are not good at pushing squads. So
No.
again, we're going to kind of double up here.
Hmm.
We're going to go with 2 transports, and we're going to give
Okay.
them expanded hangars so they can push squads. We'll give one comms net and Bright Hope to keep it alive, and
Great.
then we'll give parts resupply to the other one,
Hmm.
and Quantum Storm, so it can go a bit faster. Now, these can go with the speed 3. They're fairly survivable. Again, start them at 2. They don't
Oh
need
yeah.
to
Okay.
rush in, but they'll command 3 to 4 squadrons each.
Right.
This takes the pressure off everything else, because everything else needs to be navigating pretty much
Yes.
all the time. Now, if that
Yep.
CR90A is in a perfectly safe sniping position, feel free to concentrate fire with it. But the MC30s need to be navigating.
Navigating. Right.
And just don't worry about the concentrate fire if they get a close range shot. This is the thing. The concentrate fire will add 1 more dice, but the navigate will ensure that they end up at black range.
Right.
And
Or
that's
double arc or
or
whatever. Yeah.
double arc, exactly.
Hmm.
And that'll do a lot more damage than so we're going to these are taking the pressure off everything else. Nothing else really
Okay.
needs to command squads. We can still get 6 to 8 squads in here without kind of burdening other ships.
Okay.
And
Good.
then we're going to take a ship that's normally command squads and not command squads of it in any way. So this is our flagship. Now, normally I would suggest the cheaper assault frigate Mark 2B. It's got more squads, it's cheaper, but what we're going to do is we are going to make this a bit of a trap.
Ah,
So we are
since
going.
Akbar is one of my favorites, it's a trap. Is great.
So firstly, it's speed 3, so it can make use of Kraken, which is great. It's got
Hmm.
a great defensive suite, and it's got okay maneuverability. It's going to want to be navigating so you don't fly it off the board.
Yeah.
I've flown
Right.
these things off the board so many times. But what it does have is a tremendously good back arc. So it's got
Yes.
2 reds and blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to add reactive gunners.
Nice.
So
Nice.
if
Like
he
it.
wants to start shooting at it, that's fine. If he doesn't want to start shooting at it, we're going to add Kaken and Sholin so that you're re-rolling what you're shooting at.
Right. Yep.
And
Love
then
those guys.
we're going to add LTT, so like you're going to have so much accurate dice, and you've got 2 blue already in flak, and
Nice.
then you've got your LTTs, so that's perfect. Now, I was thinking we add Major Derlin for keeping it alive, but the other
Hmm.
option is Torrin Far.
Yeah, I was wondering about Tarnfire because we got a lot of blue out there,
We have a lot of
especially
blue.
Dodonna's Pride. And I'm thinking, well, if I mean, yes, just be within range of 3, but I mean,
I think for a fighter
Torn
screen,
far
it
and
might
for
be better.
fighters, yeah. Mm.
But what we can do is put her on the Bright Hope. Because I was considering Major Derlin, but I think that that's maybe overly cautious. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add Paragon.
Oh, I love
So,
Paragon. Yeah.
and you know why we're doing it with the reactive gunnery though, right? So the trick is if you salvo him
Yep.
and then you're double arcing him, you get the Paragon dice on both of the normal attacks because you've already attacked him.
Yes.
So if you salvo what you're going to shoot later on, you'll start off with the Paragon dice. And this is again, does he really want to shoot you?
Should you?
Does he really
Yep.
want to leave you run around in his backfield and murder everything he loves? It's a tricky situation.
Yep. Give
So
them bad choices. I love it. I
bad
love it.
choices and let him make the mistakes.
Right.
So fighter screen. So I'm thinking if he's doing Thrawn thematic, we do a
Right.
thematic screen. So
Okay.
we start with some X-Wings because X-Wings, they're fantastic and they'll
Oh
eat
yes. Yeah.
defenders for lunch. Then we'll throw in Bigs to keep them alive and
Hmm.
Jan to keep them alive.
Oh,
And then
nice.
we'll
I like
add
that.
Dutch, Wedge, and Luke. And we've got our full Death Star patrol going on.
Yes, we do. That's great. That's perfect. Yeah.
And Luke, and that's us at 400 points. So it's thematic, but it should be effective. And this is the thing. Start at 2, let those X-Wings get out there, and then turn 2, jump to 3 if he's about to
Come to think.
engage. Or if nobody is going to be in range to shoot at you,
Right.
hold what you need to back. So the main thing is give those X-Wings time to go hunt.
Okay.
Go hunt those defenders down. Now, maybe he'll jump them because while it's not tremendous bombing, you've still got 2 black bomber dice,
Right.
3 black bomber dice, actually, sorry, and a bunch of red bomber dice. And Luke
Oh
on
yeah.
a small ship will wreck face.
Yes.
And we've got APTs and Luke and Udana's Pride. So those could quickly mount up on the inside of a Star Destroyer as well.
Oh yeah. All you're saying to me is just add Dodonna. Skip Kraken and add Dodonna and just go have fun.
I would say this would also work
You're
well for
tempting me. I'm just saying
Dudana,
you're tempting.
but I don't think the Dudana's Pride is going to survive as well to actually get those
No,
crits
no.
off. So this is the thing. While Dudana might do better crits, Kraken will make sure we live long enough to get them
Yes.
off. And that's the more important thing.
Right.
Um, so I've been thinking about objectives. So with the amount of ships we have, and the fact we
Mhm.
have flotillas, most wanted is a natural choice.
Oh yes, definitely, easily.
And the thing is, you can keep your most wanted vulnerable flotilla alive a lot easier. If he has a big chimera, it's like the obvious choice. Just do rain fire on it.
Right.
And it's going to give you the bonus points. It's going to give you the extra dice. Now, with these small ships, burning the evade is important. So sometimes you want to get them back. So what I'm
Right.
thinking of the yellow is asteroid tactics.
Oh, I love that one. That's a great one. I
So
had a lot of fun with that one. Yeah.
So you can force then with the exergarts, you can force the defenders into either come into my Janor's Biggs bubble or go play with some space worms.
Yes.
As well as that, it means that you can land a Dudana's Pride on an asteroid to kind of in a place where Ben isn't expecting and get back an evade you've already burnt. Or with
Right.
admonition, it's perfect.
Yes. Very
I'd
good.
add Lando as well, but he's already protecting an MC-30, and we
Right.
kind of need him there.
Yes.
And then lastly, I was thinking or infested fields. So have you
Oh,
used
good.
this one a lot?
Yes, I think I've used it once or twice. I'm just looking at it real quick here. Yes, I think yes, we have used it once or twice, maybe even three times. But it's actually pretty good.
So the one thing,
It's go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it is pretty good. The one thing to not be scared of is give up the points. If you can give up a
Okay.
token but throw an asteroid in front of that chimera, do it in a heartbeat.
Oh yes, definitely. It'll be worth it.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Good question. Now, uh, I think I was saying leading the defenders into the Egoth because it's similar to the asteroid tactics in a way.
Yeah, it's got
Egoth, so
the I think it's
yeah.
Exergot, but I'm not sure. To be
I
honest,
don't
beta
either. I don't know.
words are hard to pronounce. I know Onuger is about the right pronunciation because the Italians have explained it to me. But
Oh, okay, good.
that's about the only one I still call it Tantive 4, for example, and it's not the Tantive 4 because they don't have Roman numerals in Star Wars. But yeah, infested
Oh,
fields. So this should set you up well. If he chooses second, these are all harsh objectives. Now, if he
yes,
chooses first, or sorry, if he
yeah,
makes you go first, that's perfect. You just wait out that Star Destroyer, then pop an MC-80 with your last activation into its front arc and go first and shoot it in the front, and it never gets to shoot you. Or if
got it.
it's the Foresight one and you've still got Lando and you've taken no damage, land it there and let him go with the Superstar Destroyer. You'll take the hit
Yeah,
and then just
land do it and
Lando it. If you've got enough hull and nothing else is coming in, bounce off him, having double arced him, and go first then with that one next round and double
right.
arc him again. It's all about kind of stay safe, but there's you can take one punch. Just be
Right.
aware
Yeah.
of how many shields you have going in. As long as you're at full health, you have the Lando, that
Yeah.
foresight, it'll feel terrifying.
It will. Oh, yes. I know. I've done it by accident and on purpose sometimes.
And
But
so the Dudana's Pride is kind of your backfield, and if he sends defenders at it, they're going to have a tough time killing it. But it's
mhm,
hunt down those flotillas, hunt down those quasars. It should be able to do it. Just stay away from anything too big.
right.
Corvette A is your little sniper. The the torpedo frigates, again, they're your big hitters, and then the
Mhm.
the assault frigate is kind of skirting around the edges, saying, "Come get me."
Yes,
And if
it's the
something does, then
trap. It's the bait, basically.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, speed 2. Start off speed 2, let those X-Wings get out there and go hunting for those defenders. And if those defenders are coming in too fast or dodging off to the side, slow that side down and
Okay,
swing the X-Wings over and across. But
all right.
no, the main thing is don't too much let the defenders isolate the CR90A, because that's the one that's probably most vulnerable to it.
Gotcha.
If the defenders run off after the CR90B,
Hmm.
maybe stack up some repair commands as long as it's not in danger of going off the board, and then just
Okay.
send your fighters after whatever big ship he has. Because those
Oh, gotcha.
bombers, if I think against the CR90B, the defenders may actually have a hard time with the free reroll and then the evades, and they're not going
Right.
to get too many criticals. And you
Okay.
can, but if you can trap them with the X-Wings, do. But if he sends 6 defenders after a
Mhm.
CR90B that costs us a total of 49 points, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't think he will.
I don't think he
I
will
really
either.
don't. No.
I think
I
he'll
think
want
he's
them
going.
front and center, and he's going to
He
want
will.
it.
He likes to put them like all of his ties. Doesn't matter what ship it is, but right either in front of his main ship or next to, and he plans it out. He's very very meticulous about his planning, which I can't wait for you two to play on. Well, what is it? Tabletop Simulator.
We really need to
Because
get that
yeah,
sorted.
you do. You too. I've been trying to egg him on, so don't worry. I'm working on him. Because he's very, very meticulous. Yeah, Thrawn is his man. I mean, he is. He really tries to be the Thrawn. So yeah, I have to really watch it.
Yeah.
And so my fighter screen is going to be very, very important. Like you said, hunting it down, screening stuff if I can. I'm a little bit worried about moving speed 3 because sometimes I can overshoot things. And but like you said, use the navs to turn and to get them double arced. That makes more sense to me.
And just the first
Um,
turn, slow roll it, and then you just
right.
jump.
Yeah.
And you don't all need to jump at the same speed. Give him things to chase, because if he chases into you, you
Got it.
turn into him. So don't give him a thing where he can just simply land in and he's got 3 ships all in one arc.
Right.
Spread them out a bit, and it's like you're dazzling him with all the little lights. Which one does he go for? Which ship does he like the taste of? And then that ship darts away, but 2 other
Yep.
ships are hitting him from other sides. So spread yourself out. Start your deployment with the flotillas. Focus the X-Wings around those flotillas, and
Okay.
hopefully then he'll do the same, because he's going to want to preserve his deployments. So he'll
Right.
start deploying defenders, and hopefully they'll kind of neutralize each other out. You don't need to jump the X-Wings too far forward. Keep them within the supportive bubble of that Torrent fire. And
Okay.
like, he's got the speed advantage, so let him come to you. And if he
Gotcha.
does, he will break upon your wall. You know,
I
um,
do. I like it. I really do.
use the Jan and Big Strick to just spread it out. And if it's got a Luke or Wedge or Biggs is taking the hit, then just use their braces and spread it out to
Right.
the generics.
Right.
And then there's no need to expand. If you've got a red brace, then just use Jan and brace it
Yep.
down, and you'll just it'll kind of like it's like Tai Chi, where you're just using the own power of the strikes
Yes.
against
I
them
like that.
and then
That's
murder
good.
them.
Yeah. I
But
like that Tai Chi. I like it.
I can't wait to see this battle. Is there anything you'd like to plug or anything you'd like to mention before we finish up, Rob?
Well, right after we're done with this tomorrow, that'll be Sunday. I don't know when you're dropping this, but we'll be doing the battle.
Awesome.
And that way we'll drop it after you drop this video, and we'll drop it the next day after so people can watch it. The channel is Downsizeit, and Ben runs it. And it's a really great, yep, there'll be a link below.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, and we really have fun playing against each other. And we have play against. We actually have our subscribers come in and give us lists,
Yeah. So if you have a
and we
list,
play their list. Yeah,
put it in the comments.
that's
See,
right.
because I think you've played like 4 or 5 subscriber list battles in the last
Oh
2 or 3
yeah,
weeks, isn't it?
maybe six now, but yeah. And we had our first, or no, sorry, we're on number two, second one of subscriber versus subscriber, and it came out really well. It was such an by accident. It was an even mirror image fight. I mean, it had not the exact same ships, but the exact same power and defenses on both sides. That it was scary for each side to pick a shot. You
So
know,
that was the ISD and 2 raiders with some squads against, wasn't it? A Starhawk, 2
Starhawk,
CNR 90s, and some squads.
right,
So it was
and
that was
Firelings. Yep.
yeah, that battle was very close and very
Oh,
enjoyable to watch.
oh, I'm telling you, we played I think for 6 or 7 hours, and it was a 400 point game, and we were stressed out by the end of it. I don't know if you can see Ben and me like,
And that was
and
only 400, so hopefully this one
right,
isn't as stressful. Hopefully you just
that's all
know the
right.
ships and just breeze through. But
Oh yeah. Oh no, the stress is good. It's a good stress. It's really a good stress, and we enjoy that. That's our best games. We do not like running over each other. For instance, sometimes we'll bring a double Ani list or a superstar destroyer, but he'll warn me ahead of time. Listen, this is a superstar destroyer. It's going to Sloan on it. You might want to prepare for it. I'm like, sure, okay. Let me trash that list I was working on last week and redo another one. And but no, it's really good, and we have a lot of fun with it. But like I said to him, take anything you want against me. It's all right
yeah,
because it's the way I learn. I learn by doing.
yeah. The only way to learn how to beat
Yeah,
something is get beaten by it generally.
right, exactly.
That
So,
the amount of onagers I had to play to kind of have some understanding of how to fight them was ridiculous.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I
But
mean, those. So some of the tournaments that you were talking about for the tabletop simulator and the Vassal and stuff like that, and I couldn't believe how many onagers are on that. Sometimes it was like, holy mackerel.
Canadians
Starhawks too.
had a
So
triple onager list
that's
with
right. Somebody
Vader,
did. Yeah,
and that thing
that's
looks
insane.
scary. I've
Yeah,
beaten it once, but that's because I scared an onager into running off a board with MC30s. But that
that's
was
the way
good
to do
fun.
it.
But anyway, listen, thank you so much for joining us on the channel so
Well,
today.
thank
I'm
you
Rob,
very much for having
and
me.
definitely I would explain, definitely I would say to everyone, follow your exploits on Downsizeit channel. I'm going to say to my regular viewers, I'm going to be taking a break for 2 to 3 weeks. I have a lot of work coming up
Right.
in the next couple of weeks with my job, and I'm actually going to be working late shifts and weekends and all that jazz. So there may be a slight delay until the next video, but Downsizeit is going to keep you entertained with the follow up to this video, so that's going to be a good watch. So other than that, everybody look after yourself. I hope the apocalypse treating you well, and talk to you all soon.
Good night.